Now I gotta roll
Good
upstairs.
evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. This is the one and only DJ Skyrocket coming to you live with another exciting episode, The Fellows, aka The Crew. I didn't forget. See, I remember. I remember. But we'd like to welcome everybody to our weekly podcast where we talk everything. We talk sports, we talk social events, we talk politics sometimes. But most importantly, we just like to talk. The opinions that are the opinions that are expressed on this is our opinions. We're not voicing the opinions of anybody but ourselves. We do not believe that Florida State is great and Florida sucks because Florida is an SEC team and Florida State is an ACC team, and I hate the ACC with a passion. That's why Clemson lost to the SEC. But I digress. So today we got an exciting topic we're going to be talking about. It's a little word with a big meaning. That's right. It's a little word with a big meaning. It is called integrity. And we're going to talk about personal integrity and business integrity since we have some business owners on here also. But before we get into the talk, we're going to go ahead and let everybody introduce themselves, starting with the Florida State guy.
Do suck, you know. So we saw that yesterday. Shouts out to Miami. One time for the you. One time for the you. One time for the you. Thank you, you. Thank you, you. But hey, integrity. We're gonna discuss that today. So let's jump right into it. Tony, go on introduce yourself. Well, maybe Tony don't want to introduce himself.
Say again.
Go
Go
on
ahead and
introduce
introduce
yourself.
yourself.
Oh yeah, T. Way Myers coming to y'all from North Myrtle Beach. Out here partying with my family, my wife's family, and
Oh,
hey, I guess them Florida teams trying to make a comeback. Carolina, we got some work to do as always, but always excited to be in here. Love the topic for tonight.
All right. So before we get into that, I have to say this and then everybody collaborate. First of all, this podcast is only going to be an hour tonight. We're going to try to keep it to an hour, 60 minutes. We're going to try to keep it to an hour. But we have the tendency to go over. Our fourth member of the crew will be in later. He's in transit right now, heading to BB and B. Do you know what BB and B is?
mm-mm.
Booty's Backyard Bonanza. That's where
Booty's
he's heading.
backyard bananas. Oh, okay.
he's, he's heading to Booty Backyard Bonanza. So he'll be here shortly. Once he get in, I don't know what kind of mindset he'll be in, but I know he's coming. But
He ain't
before
coming.
we
He ain't
hey,
coming.
but listen, but before we get started, I have to say this. Y'all know for the last up 10 years, college football started last week. I mean Saturday. Well, last week. Um, there was a whole slate of games leading into Labor Day. Happy Labor Day, everyone. Um, going into and normally the first week of college football, you have a bunch of those rubber games that I call. It's the games that the school pay these teams to come, and we're gonna beat y'all up and give y'all a chance. Let y'all them butts say go home. But the narrative have changed thanks to the NBD NIL, the transfer portal. You don't have those really pushover teams now. And right before we came on, we was talking about the upset. Show, can you elaborate on the upset from yesterday?
The upset from yesterday, my upset from yesterday for week one was Vanderbilt over Virginia Tech. I know that affected a lot of people's parlay cards and everything like that because nobody was picking Vanderbilt to win or anything like that. If you did, the only reason you would pick Vanderbilt to win, and you were a Vanderbilt alum or a Vanderbilt fan, and you bet with your heart and not
And not
not
go
going
see.
on stacks and past history. But Vanderbilt pulled it out. that was the big shock of college football yesterday. Vanderbilt upsetting because a lot of folks had Virginia Tech, picked to make some noise this year in the ACC. You know, but football. That's the only thing about it. A lot of people had us favored to beat Georgia Tech uh, a week ago, but we didn't pull that out. You know, so that's what I love about college football. I hate that my team lost, but that's the love of and the game of college football. They say any given Sunday, but anything can happen on a Saturday. Because looking back at the Clemson did play tough for 2 quarters. You know, but I feel Kirby made adjustments. Dabo didn't make adjustments. So the game is what the game is. So you got to make adjustments. You know, and I ain't just saying that because I don't like Clemson. Georgia Tech made adjustments. In that week 0 game against us, our defense didn't make adjustments. So it is what it is. Now,
Okay.
before we get into our top of the day, your Gamecocks.
We barely put it off, Bo. Um, we was 21 points favorites against I don't forgot who we played.
Old Dominion. Old
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 Dominion.
Dominion.
Old Dominion. We were 21.5 points
Mm-hmm.
favorite.
Yeah.
Um, now y'all know I do play the parlay cards. I do.
Hmm.
Boy, you shouldn't
I'm not.
admit that on
I'm
here,
not.
and that's
I'm not.
illegal.
I'm not going to say the website, but I do play.
Tony,
And when
parlay
I
card. That's just. We don't bet no money. We don't bet
we
no
don't bet
money on parlay card. That's just
it's
here bragging
entertainment.
right. That's just
Yeah,
bragging right.
it's
We don't
entertainment.
bet no money.
Yeah, yeah, it's entertainment. But
Hey, entertainment
I lined
purposes
up.
only.
I got
I I I lined up with the Carolina Old Dominion game, and I saw the line, and I was like, I take Carolina for the win, not with the points.
So
so
you pick. So
so
you pick
I
Old
took I
Dominion.
took Old Dominion with the 21 and a half, and every pick that me and Soldier B did hit except for the Texas. Who Texas played? Texas, Colorado State. We took the over under. The over under was 60 and a half. The final score of the game was 52 to nothing.
yeah.
Colorado
Colorado didn't score. Yeah,
Colorado couldn't even sniff the end zone. They didn't even sniff the red zone.
yeah.
So that killed our ticket. But you live and you learn. Um, Colorado State has a lot of work to do. They got to bounce back next week. They have another tough opponent next week. Carolina have to bounce back. They got to do some stuff. But the talk of the town is Clemson and Dabble. They said Dabble might not even last the season if he don't get the ship right. What do y'all think about that, Tony?
Well, the choices that he made at quarterback. Now, one of the things I tell you I feel about Dabo is he a little bit self righteous to me. He's totally against the NIL deal stuff, and you have to adjust with the times because that's what brings in the talent now. And you have an established program, and who doesn't want to come and play for Clemson? But they want to be certain that they get their fair shake at making some kind of money like they would anywhere else. His choice at Club Neck, let's just be honest, the kid is not it. DJ, I think DJ was a much better quarterback than him, and he should have rolled with DJ. So if he ends up losing his stuff, now one of the things you guys got to remember, and I know show show you how old are you, show?
50.
Oh, so
50.
you know about Danny Ford. Hey,
Yeah.
boy, I'm gonna tell you, you already know. It ain't about, hey, Clemson is really, it ain't about what you did for me. It's about what have you done for me lately. And
Let me tell
Clemson,
you,
Clemson will let you go.
Tony. Let me tell you a story. I am 50. I was a Clemson fan during the Danny Ford era.
Mm-hmm.
I, as I matured, I realized it, and that the buck stops with the head coach. I was so mad with Clemson because I was a little kid when Danny Ford got fired. I
Yeah.
was so mad with Clemson, I stopped cheering for them, and along came a dude called Deion Sanders.
Oh
When
yeah.
I
Prime
saw
time.
when I saw Deion Sanders play, I said, "Hold up, I got to cheer for this guy because I didn't have no team. I had to wash my hands of Clemson. I didn't realize that the buck stops with the head coach. Now that I'm grown, I realize, okay, if your player's doing something on your watch, you are responsible for that. As a kid, a young man, they fired my coach. That was the team I cheered for, and I hated Clemson ever since.
Yeah.
Hate them, still hate them to this day. I understand why Danny got fired,
Yeah.
but but I still blame them because you know y'all let a good coach go. Danny was winning. Danny was this. Clemson was dominant. He
Yeah.
won you a national championship. You don't let a
Exactly.
national championship coach go. But when your program is in disarray and y'all doing a bunch of shady stuff,
Yeah.
somebody got to fall on the sword and take the blame.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that as a kid. I just said, "Oh, if his players doing this, why y'all blaming him? Them the players
Exactly.
doing that, not
Yep.
him." But I learned that later on in life. You gotta be responsible. I was a Clemson fan, but
Yeah.
because they fired Danny Ford, I still hate them to this day.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
two teams. It's two teams I hate to this day, and I don't want them to win a. I don't care if they win a banana eating contest. I don't want them to win that. I don't want them to win a poking bean party contest.
So what?
It
So
is
Clemson won. Who's the other?
Florida Gators.
Florida Gators. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you.
I
I got
don't I don't want Florida Gators to win nothing. I don't want them to win a blue ribbon at the science fair.
you. Dang.
Well, we got a comment from Carrie Strong.
That's
It
Case
says spot
Strong.
on.
That's Case Strong.
Yeah,
That's another
it
Seminole
says
fad.
spot on
That's
Big
another
Homie about the tribe. Monday night will tell a lot about MN, and staff and players. Dabo will be there one more season if he gets down with the NIL,
he
but he
down,
won't.
but no, this a misconception. He down. He fine with the NIL. Dabo is not fine with the transfer portal.
No,
With
he's
the
not fine with
NIL,
the NIL.
he ain't fine with
No.
it, but he ain't got nothing to
No.
do with that.
Yeah, he
No,
don't
he
have
has
nothing to do
nothing
with it,
to
but
do with
he
that.
doesn't like it. Yeah. He
He
doesn't
don't
like it.
like it. He don't like it because the thing about it is, and that's the same reason you got to think about it. Okay, as a coach, as a coach of a big time program, what is the one thing you can promise them kids when they coming in?
Playing time.
No, I can teach you how to get to the next level. I can teach you what NFL, because that what Nick Saban thing was. I can teach
Yeah.
you what NFL teams want. I can. You are going to run a pro style offense. I am the coach that is going to get you the most NFL ready because before NIL, that was the only way your payday. Sure, it was a lot of underhanded and behind closed door stuff. I've heard stories from people I know that went to major universities and stuff like that about the envelope handshakes and all kind of stuff, you
The
know.
close, yeah, yeah.
And the thing about it is they selling point to these 5-star kids before NIL was I can get you NFL ready like nobody else. But now you can't promise with NIL and they making money or they want more money. You can't because like some folks. okay, what if I don't need the NFL riches? Sure, I would want it, but if I can make enough, because okay, what if my family from a nice middle class, or what if my family, I just need this NIL money can help my family get over. I can come here and get my degree. I really ain't never had no NFL dreams. It's some kids in college like that. They love football, but they never had no NFL dreams because, and I hate to jump subject. I Calvin Johnson. If Calvin Johnson had NFL dreams, why would he go to Georgia Tech? Remember, Calvin Johnson went to Georgia Tech back when Georgia Tech was running the wishbone.
When they
But see,
wasn't even throwing to the when they
Yeah,
wasn't
they
throwing
wasn't
to the
even
wide
throwing the
receiver.
yeah,
ball to receivers.
and then
But
you know,
his
Yeah.
thing
Georgia Tech
was,
was
and I watched interviews with Calvin Johnson. He was more for the education of Georgia Tech because Georgia Tech had what he
I
wanted
just gonna
to.
say
He,
they was a prestige college.
yeah,
It's still a
it had,
prestigious
yeah,
college.
they still prestige to this day with their
Yeah.
academic standard. They
Yeah.
But
had what he wanted to major
I know one
in.
thing about them.
You have kids like that, Tony, that they want to
Hmm.
go to this school for something else. If football happens, like with Calvin Johnson, if football happens, sure, it's great, but that's not my end all be all.
Yeah. That's
Okay,
just like
my
when you
own
talk
school,
about. Yeah. Yeah.
my own, hey, Florida State. The man now is a neurosurgeon, Dr. Myron Rowe. Myron Rowe,
Hmm.
he
Yeah.
had NFL dream, but
He's a Rhodes
his
Scholar.
yeah, his dream
Yeah.
was to be a doctor.
Yes. Yeah. Not play the NFL.
Yeah, his dream wasn't to get to the NFL. If the NFL had to happen, it
Yeah.
seemed like in the interviews and discussion I've seen him had with people, if the NFL had to happen, he would have checked out that opportunity. But
Yeah.
his end goal was to be a doctor.
Yeah. But he
And
wound up going to Harvard.
yeah,
Yeah.
he went to
Yeah.
Harvard Medical School and
Yeah.
everything like
Yeah.
that. Man, a Rhodes Scholar. The man's a
Yeah.
neurosurgeon now.
Yeah.
Very smart fella. Helped out. Very
Yeah.
smart. Well, very smart man. Let me take that back. I ain't gonna disrespect his work. Very smart man.
Yeah.
Very educated doctor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I go back and look at his NFL was his Florida State career. Hell of a football player.
Hell of a football player. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the
But
thing.
you have
Now
schools like that. You know, like when you look at Wake Forest, Duke, and Vanderbilt. When those three, when like especially Wake Forest and Vanderbilt, hell, when they win football games, that's an accomplishment because number one, it's already tough to get into the school. They really don't recruit for football. They just
no.
basically get guys who are eligible to attend the school and going to come and play football as a secondary. That's not the
As a
problem. Like you
way,
say, that's not their primary reason to be in there.
yeah, that's not their primary. Their football is their way so they don't put that burden on their parents. They
Yeah,
happen to
yeah,
love a sport. They're able, and it got them to a school, that majored in what they wanted to major in, and it
yeah.
helped them get to what they considered their lifelong goal instead of a short. Because football is a short term goal. You know,
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah.
you're
Very,
not gonna.
very rarely you get 20 years out of it.
Yeah, yeah. It's rare to get 20 years out of a football
Yeah.
career on a
Yeah.
professional level where you're
Oh yeah.
making money.
That's
But
right.
this
Yeah,
and then
it takes
skyrocket
it
this
takes
kind of
uh, it
but
takes
skyrocket
5 years.
but skyrocket this segues into our topic of integrity.
Yep.
If you are a young man with integrity, do I go to this school that's offering me a buttload of money, or do I go to this school that majors and has what I want to be after football, or if football doesn't work for me, you know, do I just take the
Hey,
payday
fellas.
now or do I take the payday later? That is that is a
And
form of integrity.
yeah.
Black. Am I?
But
Yeah,
it boils down to, like you said, what is your family situation? You know.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your family
Mama can't
situation?
tell her to say, hey
You have to
y'all.
think. Hey, you
Tell her
know,
I
you
say
talk
hello.
about it. Hey, you talk about integrity. I believe Jim Harbaugh lacked integrity. You know, that's why he left Michigan. Y'all ain't know, but Michigan in a lot of trouble now.
He left
Oh, Michigan,
Michigan.
bro.
He left Michigan because he knew the NCAA was coming after him again this season with something.
Oh, they no, they coming after the. They come now. He's gone. They coming after the college now. They ain't
If
coming
he
after
would,
him.
if he would have stayed, they would have came after him.
Oh yeah.
It is, you know, the guy, the so-called sign stealer, has a Netflix special. I mean, a Netflix thing now.
No man.
I watched
Yes,
it.
it's on
I
Netflix.
watched it.
It's called
I
Oh
Sign
man,
watched
y'all
it.
Stealer.
got to send that to me. Send that.
Talk
Somebody
this.
send that to me, please.
If you got Netflix, just go in there and look under Untold.
Yeah,
Untold.
But
Untold.
Okay.
okay, but by looking at that Netflix special, I didn't see he didn't do nothing wrong.
Well, I didn't see the whole thing. I saw the beginning part, and then I went to sleep
I
on.
saw the I saw
Okay.
the only thing that might be what they did wrong in my eye, and this is just my eye. Once again, going back to Skyrockets. Speaking of integrity, because it this goes to integrity for me. He didn't. If they call other schools and gave what they learned to them other schools, that I feel was a violation. But
Yes.
if you look at the rules, and this is what the rules state for the NCAA, it is fine for you to videotape and look at film of people's signals.
Yeah, it
If
is.
you are smart enough to figure it out, that is you.
But he is a smart. The dude is no slow leak at all.
Okay, yeah.
They, they was
Understand?
telling
Okay,
him he's
but
former intelligence in the Navy. He is
yes,
really smart.
he a
And
Marine. He
and
was in the
and
Marines. He went to the
yeah,
Naval Academy.
he did not ask for that job as the undergrad. They gave him that job because they heard him sitting behind the bench telling his friend that the plays that the other team was running.
Yeah,
Mm.
because he studied the film at the Naval
Yeah,
Academy. He did it.
yeah,
That's what they ain't letting out. He did it for the Naval Academy first.
yeah, yeah,
He didn't.
yeah,
Michigan, Tony. Michigan wasn't the
Yeah.
first place he did this at. He did it
Oh
for the Naval
wow.
Academy first.
yeah.
Wow.
He was always a Michigan fan, but he
Yeah.
didn't. He went. Yeah, he went to Navy. He went to the school because he was smart.
So
Wow.
he was smart, but if you look at the Netflix best Skyrock, he always wanted to be a coach.
Oh
The
yeah,
only reason he said the only reason he went into the military because all the great coaches that he looked up to had a military
it was like
background.
8 of them. He was like 8 of them. He named.
Yeah, all of them had a military background with the service academies. So he felt the best way for him to be a coach, Tony, was to go to the military academy,
Uh huh.
learn his military stuff, and then come out and be a coach. He said once he walked on and he had a Navy coach just made him a student coach
Uh
or
huh.
whatever they call it. He walked into
Yeah,
the office and he
undergrad
said,
assistant.
he said, "Well, I want to work for y'all. What can I do for you?" He said the coach didn't even interview him. The coach, he said the coach got up, walked him down the hallway, and said, "Huh, here your new student coach."
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now he did literally,
Yeah.
literally.
So he said, "Well, what can I do?" And the man told him, "Well, try to figure out, just trying to find something for a student coach to do." He said, "Try to figure out their plays." And he was
Yeah.
smart enough. He just started studying film, studying their gestures, studying what they did. And now, mind you, all this stuff that he did, going by NCAA rules, was not illegal.
Uh huh.
So I'm trying to figure out how now all of a sudden they tried to flip it and say sign steal it because you told me I could study this. You told me if I could figure it out and use it to my advantage, I'm fine. But how all of a
Yeah.
sudden now it's sign stealing? Like I said, maybe the only thing I can get is because it was an accusation of them calling other schools and saying opponents they was gonna play against, they was giving that information he had figured out to other schools that was gonna play
Hmm.
against teams that Michigan was worried about being good down the line and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's illegal. I don't know, but basically, but what he was doing at Michigan, studying the film, picking up on the signs, he sit there for hours and deciphered that stuff. The
Yeah.
NCAA said that's not illegal.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I want
that's
to
why
know,
they didn't go after him. That's why they couldn't go after him.
but okay, you going after the school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You trying to make
Yeah.
Because
up stuff?
it's having the school on the hand say the school should know better. Stop that. Y'all stop
Yeah.
that. Stop that. Now
No
they
better how.
say,
It's not illegal. It's not illegal.
but
But then
but
remember,
you know,
Skyrock. I don't know how far you watched it. It is a whole network because he said people from other schools that do the same thing he did started getting in contact with him
Uh huh.
because they figured he was seemed like he was better at it.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah. But but
Well,
but
I mean,
let me
like you
tell
say, if
you,
he's if the rules say that if there's nothing against the rules of doing that, and he's smart enough to figure it out, hell, I don't see what he did wrong then. Like you say,
You know what I'm
what
saying?
did he do
What
wrong?
did he do wrong?
What did he
well,
do wrong? Yeah.
let me tell you what they did. Let me tell you what he did wrong. He didn't do nothing wrong, but the NCAA was trying to get Harbaugh for the previous year of the thing they tried to hit him with and he got off. They needed something else to come after him for.
No,
And
he
That
got
ain't true.
suspended for that. But I mean, he did, get
yeah,
suspended
he got
for.
suspended. Yeah, he gets suspended, but they want him. They want Harbaugh out of coaching. They didn't want him in collegiate coaching no more. They want him gone.
Hmm.
It's like they doing to him what the NFL supposedly did to Kaepernick.
Don't bring that up.
I say
Don't bring that
supposedly.
up.
I said
Don't bring
supposedly.
up Kaepernick. Don't bring up
I said
Kaepernick.
supposedly. I had to say
Don't
supposedly.
No,
I had to say
that's a different
supposedly.
thing. That's a
I had
different
to say
thing.
supposedly.
That's a
Now,
that's a topic
look,
we could talk about another day.
now, since we're talking about integrity, and we're talking about men athletes or the men's side of things,
Oh man, did y'all hear
we have to talk
today's
about
news?
the female um side of the
Yeah.
athletic spectrum. Now,
Yeah, that was
last week,
terrible.
last week it was the Aces versus the Sky,
No,
and
you uh-uh.
yeah,
D,
it was last week.
you missing one.
Uh,
Did you
what
hear
I missed?
about our Carolina player who's
No,
been
we're talking
arrested
about
for kidnapping?
yeah, we're talking about Alan, Alicia,
Yeah,
Ashley. Actually, we
yeah.
talk about her. We talk about her in a second because it's some stuff in that one that haven't been released yet. So we really can't talk on that. And I've been knowing Ashley since Kaufman Road Park. So you, I don't know if you. I'll fill you in a second. Hold on. But
Yeah, I read the story. I read the story.
okay. But yeah.
And
So it's some
to
stuff
me,
that
to
that's
me,
not.
that ain't kidnapping. But that's me. That's me.
Yeah, it's not. But
Yeah.
the law and what we think is two different things.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the thing is with the Chicago Sky and the Aces. Chicago Sky came back and tied the game with like 1 point something seconds left in the game. They called timeout. They called timeout. Uh, Went to the huddle. Now Cadosa had five or six blocks that whole game, and she felt some type of way that she wasn't included into the defensive scheme that they was talking in the huddle with the 1 point something second left when the score was tied. So you know how the media plays on things, and they try to find something that make a mountain out of molehill. Now they saying because she felt disrespected.
Hmm?
She's in, yeah, they said she felt this is what the media said. Now she didn't come out and say no, no, no. She didn't say nothing. She's just letting the media talk for her. She said the media came out and said she felt her expression felt like she was disrespected in that final huddle, and she need to go somewhere else and play next season.
Did she say she need to go somewhere else and play?
She ain't said nothing yet.
Well,
And this is
how can anybody make that assumption if the girl ain't said nothing?
they look. It had to be somebody. It had to be somebody inside the huddle that had a loose lip, and the photographer took the right picture at the right time.
Well,
Cause
winners, but
see,
and you guys have heard it before. Winners want it to run through them. I mean, that's just what a winner is. They want, is that, I'm the central point. It should come through me. I'm gonna get you there. That's what make them different. They want it. They want the limelight. They want that opportunity. And I don't
but
fault her for that.
this is not Fresh Prince of Bel Air. We're not running the same play, passing the wheel. We have more than one wheel on this team. This is the next level. So you got to be able to, integrity will tell you, hey, maybe I can't get the ball this time, but next time they'll call my number.
But okay, Skyrocket, it wasn't even that, and I don't know that. See, this way it's saying you're doing, you kind of doing the same thing the media do, and what it
Yeah,
is, the media. The thing about the media. No, listen to me. See,
sensationalism.
don't shake. No, don't shake your head. Hold up. Hush your mouth before you say something.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, you got
I want to sit
people.
right here.
All right,
Hold on.
do whatever the hell you
Mute
do.
yourself.
Yeah, mute yourself.
Yeah. Go ahead, show.
Okay, but what it is, everybody want to be the great predictor.
Hmm.
When they see situations like that, and you see they upset, because okay, I can go back to plenty of examples. How is it that when Terrell Owens fussed with the coach, he's a malcontent, he's a cancer. When Tom Brady fussed with the coach, he's a competitor, he's a
Hmm.
winner.
Hmm.
Okay, the thing about it is when Cardosa fu- fussed with the coach, she wants out. She don't want to be
Hmm.
there.
You
If
don't know
Caitlin,
that. Yeah.
if Caitlin Clark fuss with the
She's
coach,
passionate.
she's
She's
passionate. She's
passionate.
hungry.
Amen, brother.
So see, that's what the media does. They spin it, especially if it's a player they like or a team they like.
That's right.
They spin it so that it makes they guy look good
Mm-hmm.
or they girl looks good. Like Asia Wilson. If Asia do that, Asia's passionate. Asia's a leader. Asia's
That's
a
right.
winner. You
That's
know.
right.
So it's all because the media people want they person that they cool with. Like, okay, you know who my second favorite baseball player is?
Cal Ripken Jr.,
No, my
Ozzie
number one is
Smith.
Ken Griffey Jr. My second favorite baseball player was Barry Bonds. You know one of the reasons I like the Barry Bonds? He didn't give a darn what the media thought about him.
He didn't.
He he went out there and he just kept. He didn't want to talk to them. He didn't want to. I just like now Ken Griffey Jr. my number one because he's the innovator of the turned around baseball hat and everything like that. I would love that as a youngster coming up. But I love Barry Bonds because Barry Bonds didn't give nothing about what them reporters said about him. Barry was like, man, I don't even want to talk to y'all. Bump y'all. Don't come over here and buy me. Bump y'all. But he still went out there and showed. And the thing about it is, everybody holler about, oh, he was on PEDs. It was no, and I read this and I searched this and I taught, it was no rule against no performance enhancing drugs in
It wasn't.
baseball.
It wasn't.
So Everybody, if you didn't want to do it, it was your choice. If you did
Yeah.
want to do it, it was your choice.
Yeah.
Baseball never set the rules. That's just like,
That's
come on,
right.
Skyrock. If your mama and them back in the day, if your mama and them was always gone and they never told you you couldn't have a party and you had a party, then you can't get
Hmm.
mad because I had a party because you never set the rule.
That's right.
That I couldn't be part of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Baseball never set the rule that this stuff was illegal. They didn't have
They
you
had
could do
they
every
had rules about cork bats, about pine tar
yeah.
foam balls.
They
They
had
had
rule
rules about how the game was played, but they didn't have rules about the physical
of the
attributes
player.
of the players. Yeah.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
had the rule about the equipment. They didn't
Yeah.
have the rule about what the player could do because
Yeah.
they did not care.
Yeah.
So now don't try to act like you once you got caught, once one of your players, Jose Canseco, decide this is integrity. This is integrity.
He lack it. Hmm.
The whole no, not only did he
Jose?
lack it, Major
Yeah,
League
oh yeah.
Baseball
Oh,
lacked
Major Baseball
integrity.
lacked it also. Yeah.
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 So this still going to the top we talked about. Major League Baseball lacked integrity when it came to actually how they govern the game, but they
Mm-hmm.
wanted to act like they had integrity when it came to the public eye.
Mm-hmm.
When you really didn't have no integrity because you didn't care. You didn't set the rule.
Mm-hmm. But you
You
enjoyed the
enjoyed the
numbers.
spoils.
That
You
was yeah.
enjoyed the spoils of it
Yeah,
when
man.
they
Yeah.
when Mark McGuire and Jose Canseco and Barry Bonds
Yeah.
was knocking the cover off balls and
Yeah.
everybody was
Yeah.
coming back to baseball,
Yeah.
y'all was cashing in. But
Oh
then
yeah.
when the story came out, because Canseco felt he got left out, and the stories came out, then y'all tried to act like, oh no, what they doing? What? Y'all knew what they was doing. Y'all never tried to stop them from doing it because you benefited from it. You had
Yeah.
Major League Baseball is the prime example of a whole league and organization having no integrity. But
Yeah.
then once your name got put in it, then you decided to try to have integrity and
Mm-hmm.
tried to play victim like you didn't know. You tried to throw it back on the players union. Oh, the
Mm-hmm.
players union don't allow us to drug test them. No, because y'all negotiated that y'all wouldn't test them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you talk about that. Let me ask you that question. This question: does Pete Rose deserve to be recognized as he should in the Hall of Fame?
I don't went back and forth in my life about the Pete Rose thing. And the reason I go back and forth with it, Pete knew the rule, but then Pete, we talk about the Hall of Fame about his playing career. If you have no evidence of him betting on baseball while he was a
Against,
player,
that's right. Against
no, it don't
his
matter. If
team.
you no,
Yeah,
if you
if he,
have
but you see what
no,
I'm saying?
yeah,
He never
but
bet against
did
his team.
but no, did he bet? But no, betting is a shaded thing when you the manager because you learn
Oh
little
yeah,
inside tricks from other managers. But I'm just
yeah.
saying, if they have no evidence, and this is where I stand on Pete, because I went back and forth. I done thought about this for years and years, and if they have no evidence of him betting as a player, because we're not trying to put him in the Hall of Fame as a manager.
No, no. Because he didn't do nothing as the manager.
Yeah, but if you have no evidence of him betting on games while he was a player, then he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Just the same reason I say Mark McGuire deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, Sammy Sosa deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, Barry Bonds deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. All them dudes, Roger Clemens deserves to be in the Hall of Fame because baseball, you did not have a rule banning the use of
But
performance enhancing drugs.
but then here's my dilemma. You look at a player like a Derek Jeter, who to me, Derek Jeter and Ken Griffey. I look like you say. we talk about favorite baseball players. These are two guys. Three guys: Cal Ripken, Ken Griffey Jr., and Derek Jeter. These guys, to me, are inspirational to the word integrity. And when you are using, no, you're not breaking the rule, but you are using something to help advance yourself. I,
Bro,
I never saw a change in those three players when they played the game.
And that's
but
fine.
And
the,
That's
and
fine.
they
but
and
And
they
that's
are three
fine.
Hall of Fame. Not to say that I didn't. I'm like the MLB boy. The height, the home runs. Oh man, that like blew me away to see all that action for those. What that lasted for like 3-4 years.
that's
Yeah.
so ticket.
Man,
It's
But
so
man,
but
that thing
ticket.
so ticket. It made you watch. I hated baseball. I didn't hate baseball, but I was like not an avid baseball watcher. But when them home runs started flying, whoo, bruh, mm,
They even had the
I was
remember
selling my. I didn't know
did
I
the
was selling my soul.
they did the chase highlighting those three players, and they chasing for the record. And every
but
day, every night, they went, okay, well, he did this and this. Well, he did this. Well, he did this. And it was a big lead. And they cashed in on
They
it.
cashed in on it. Yeah. They. Hey, I
Cashed
didn't see. I didn't see the. I didn't see the MLB give money back.
no,
Huh?
no.
Huh? We talk about you right. They lack integrity because I didn't see them like, oh my God, we gonna give fans back something because these guys cheated. I didn't hear nothing like that. I
Okay,
didn't hear
well,
they.
let's talk about
but
Tony.
Tony, but Tony,
Yeah.
Tony, the words you just used, and I'm a big wordplay guy. Technically, they didn't cheat.
No, I said that that they said they
Yeah, that I'm
cheated to
saying.
get
They
there.
said
Yeah,
they
I,
said
I
they
didn't say
cheated.
they cheated,
Yeah,
but the
they
words
said
that
they
were
cheated.
used by the
Yeah,
media and
is that
ML
they cheated.
well, that they cheated. But I'm saying they didn't do what my three favorite guys in ML in baseball did.
Okay, but the thing about it
And
is,
even
Tony.
Hank Aaron,
The thing
and
about
I'm
it is,
sorry. Well, see, the thing about Hank Aaron, loved him, but I didn't get to see him personally. I didn't get to see him on the TV. I didn't. He wasn't in my era. So, but those three guys I named, they were in my era. I enjoyed watching them and the professionalism that they exude when they were on TV and playing the game, and they didn't use nothing. They didn't use nothing to be the stars that they were. And
the thing about it is, and this is what I go back and like I said, okay, they said, and it's something simple now because everybody drinks it. They said a lot of the dudes back in the day, back in the Hank Aaron era and all that, they took caffeine pills because they were up, they were hanging out, they were partying. They took the caffeine pills, you know, because they didn't, you know, they didn't take care of their bodies like they're supposed to because they were young. They were getting well and back then considered good money. Wasn't no rules. Wasn't no social media. Wasn't no nobody monitoring them. So they would pop caffeine pills or drink pots and pots of coffee to be up for the game. They out there in the baseball field hung over on the game. Technically,
Yeah,
that caffeine is a performance enhancing drug because if they didn't take that, they wouldn't have been up to do what they did for that game.
you're
hmm
right.
So what it is now, scientific advancement and all that, by the time you got to the Barry Bonds era. And I'm not taking nothing away. I'm not taking nothing away, but I'm putting the buck at who the responsibility belongs to because okay, when the steroid era came, when the steroids was prevalent in the NFL banned it. The NFL tested for it. You know what I'm saying? other sports leagues started testing performance enhancing drugs. Major League
Well, the
Baseball
NFL has
was
a
the
fifth sport.
last ones to start, and it wasn't until Jose Canseco came out, and you can go back and read this here. All
Oh yeah.
other, all the other major pro leagues collective bargaining agreement put in stuff about certain drugs that were banned substance.
Yeah.
MLB until Jose Canseco came out and blew the whistle.
Yeah.
MLB that didn't ban shit.
No.
They did.
No.
They
They
did.
didn't.
So
Well, our
you
homeboy,
can't.
our
But if you
homeboy,
didn't stop your players from taking that, you can't now play righteous and say, "Oh, you can't get in our Hall of Fame," you know, because
well, I'll tell you,
you did that.
our homeboy actually said, I'm not gonna say their name, but our homeboy said when he went to the league, man, it wasn't nothing to see them boys hold up in the corner doing their stuff before the game. You know,
Because there wasn't no rules to test it.
yeah, it wasn't. And then baseball is not really a physical like football. Football, you constantly hitting somebody. And I can see you having an unfair advantage by taking pens. That's what they call them, performance enhancement drugs, pens. And you killing somebody, yes. But in baseball, who you hitting? You ain't hitting. Oh,
And then
Yeah.
another thing you don't realize about baseball. Baseball is a long grind.
Oh yeah.
now,
100 and what? 69?
see,
169?
160.
162 games. That
62? Yeah, but that's a
and
lot. That's a lot, bro.
that's if you don't make the playoffs.
The
If you make the
playoff,
Yeah.
playoffs, it's longer than
Yeah.
that.
it's
That's
like
right.
But
100
you know
if you
what
play make the
baseball
playoff.
is? I'm here to
Mm.
tell you. You know what baseball is? And I put this to a perspective of baseball. Baseball is the fine woman because everybody had one in their neighborhood. The fine woman that lived down the street that was old, she got old in front of your eyes, but your granddad and your daddy still want to call her fine because they remembered how she was back in the day.
Hmm. Yeah.
So she
Yeah.
started getting surgeries
Yeah.
to get back to what the breast implants, facelift, all that to get back to looking kind of looking like how she used to back in her heyday. That's baseball. It is a
Yeah.
old sport. That's why now that I came with these rules, speeding up the game
Yeah.
and everything like that. But they
Yeah.
never wanted. They never the diehard baseball heads still want to
Hmm.
live in the past. But baseball, the steroid era proved that baseball needed a upgrade because baseball was dying without that.
Hmm.
Because just
Hmm.
like you said, Tony, you was not an avid baseball fan, but when them
Hmm.
balls started flying out the field,
Yes,
it brought you
sir.
back. It brought you
Brought you
back.
back.
It brought a
Yes,
lot of
sir.
people back. The only reason I
Yes,
paid
sir.
attention to baseball and skyrocket is my win. My mama, God bless the dead, loved the Atlanta Braves.
Oh yeah.
She kept me up with the
Yeah.
Atlanta Braves. She made me program a
Oh yeah.
TV for the Atlanta Braves. She made me
Oh yeah.
provide a schedule
Oh yeah.
because she wanted to know when every Brave
That's right.
game was coming on.
See,
That is the generation that kept
I
baseball alive.
I don't know if you. Yeah, it's like being a diehard fan of a team that always finish in the basement, and then all of a sudden it turns
What
on.
makes
And I'll
you back?
tell you, I was a Braves fan for a long. I've been a Braves fan a long time, brother. And during
Me
the
too.
'80s, oh my God, boy! Hey, I can't remember if we ever had a winning season in the
You
'80s.
Well,
didn't.
I
You
remember,
didn't.
Hey,
I
but when
remember
the
when,
'90s,
when
when
we
the
made the
'90s hit, hey, when
89.
the yeah,
89
yeah,
was the turn. 89, 90 was the turn.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And when we beat New York in the World Series, well, that was one of the greatest moments being a sports fan was ever for me. That was
But
something else.
I remember Atlanta played Toronto.
See, Carolina. See,
Played
let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all not Carolina fans. See, Carolina spoiled us early. Carolina Panthers, they spoiled us early
Yeah, they
because
did.
they came out winning. They came out winning, and we were winning, going to the play. Man, we made the NFC title game. What, our second, third year? That's crazy, bro. That was
Yeah.
You
unheard
know,
of.
you know why? You know why? You know why?
Oh yeah. Oh, I know why.
You had a lot of veterans,
Yes, sir.
and that's the
That
thing
that that
about
that that expansion draft.
Yeah.
yeah.
We got
Yeah.
You had
we
a
got
lot of
players
veterans.
that
You had a lot of
well think
veterans,
about it.
and you can, and that's the thing about football. Because think about it, Tony. How many football teams made the playoff one year and then was sorry the next year? Because you can catch lightning. That's the thing about football. A bounce can go your way, couple games. You can catch lightning in a bottle. You can get hot at the right time in football. But
Mm-hmm.
sports like baseball, basketball that have long schedules,
Yeah.
them long schedules is gonna prove what you are.
Oh, it's prove what you made of now.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
them long schedules prove what you
Yeah.
are. You
Yeah.
can, cause okay, this here is 16 games. All right, all I need to do, and you know who a prime example of that? The New York Giants under Eli Manning. They were wild card teams when they won their two Super Bowls under Eli Manning.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
All they
do?
needed, they caught lightning in a bottle at the end of the season. They got into the
Mm-hmm.
playoff and they were hot at the time. Baseball and basketball gonna prove to you because it's a long, grueling season. Your
Oh yeah.
team got to be know how to play together, and your team got to know have the skill. You don't
Even
catch
the
lightning in a
playoff. Even the
bottle with
play.
them.
Yeah. Even the playoff is long and grueling.
Yeah,
Ain't
but
like
the
it's
thing
one and
about it is,
done.
yeah, it's not. It ain't one and done in that one and done
Yeah.
sport, but it's one and done in football.
Yeah. It's one and done in football, but not in that
Yeah,
baseball and that basketball.
no.
Lord
So
it
see, that's
knows,
what
take
I'm
bro.
saying.
it takes the body longer to heal from the constant pounding in football than what it takes in the other sport. That's
But
why they
no,
only play
Skyrock,
once a
it's a
week.
grind. It's the long grind. It's
It's
the
it's the
long
grind
grind.
though. Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
grind that okay, I'm finna do this. Cause here go right here. You know, baseball don't even practice during the season because they play
Well,
Wow.
almost every day. They have batting practice,
Yeah.
and basically
Yeah.
just warming up before they go play.
Yeah. Warm ups. Yeah.
Yeah,
hey,
Yeah.
NBA the
Big Wayne
same way.
do
Them
drop us
dudes
in the
don't
building.
practice. They practice, but they really don't practice. They have walkthroughs and stuff like that because they know they finna play. NBA based plays every other day. So you will have a walkthrough practice to where y'all out there, but it ain't hard practice like football. Football practice is during the week. They
Oh
put in a
yeah,
game
uh,
plan during the
they
week.
normally have Monday off, and then they back at it with video on Tuesday, Wednesday, late Wednesday, early Thursday. We hit the
No,
field.
Tuesday is their day off. Tuesday is their day off.
It depends
It,
on if they didn't play that Monday.
no,
They
Monday
don't
is
play.
Tuesday.
meet.
They
I
off.
think
Monday they have meetings.
meetings on
Monday they
Mondays.
have meetings.
They
Yeah.
don't.
Tuesday is
They
their
don't
day
practice. I'm
off,
talking about
and then
when they don't hit
Wednesday,
the field till they don't hit the field
Wednesday.
till
They
they
don't
don't
hit
touch
the
the
field
field
till
till Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
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 Monday they have meetings and film study. Now, if the coach felt they did good, sometimes they say they'll skip. No film study tomorrow. Y'all, I see y'all on Wednesday. I done seen interviews with that. But mostly Monday they coming back in. If you need treatment and everything like that after the
Yeah.
game,
Follow your
and
protocol.
then you watching film study, about what. But sometimes it's a big win. The coach felt you did good. He'll give them that Monday off, and then Tuesday they normal day off unless you need treatment because you got to get your treatment. You got to get your
Hmm.
treatment if you got some little nagging injury or whatever. You got to get your treatment. But
Yeah.
but they hit because Wednesday they starting to install a game plan for their next opponent. But see, like I say with baseball, they playing. They playing games every day. They're just good that they'll do a little batting practice, a little fielding practice before the game, and then there they go. You know,
All right,
it's time
fellas.
to play.
Real, real quick, we got 5 minutes left before we have to get off because we're gonna stick to the hour. But
Hello.
let's talk about this real quick. NFL starts. NFL starts in 4 days.
And NFL
September
starts in
5th.
4 days.
Uh,
What's up
it starts.
on the podcast? All right.
Who that? Who that? That's Stacy.
That whoop.
Oh,
All right, go ahead.
July. So September 5th start the season.
Thursday,
Not
Chiefs and
going with
Ravens.
your heart or who you align with. Who do you think, NFC or AFC, who's going all of us are NFC guys, right? All of us
Mhm.
NFC. Who do you
Mhm.
think, and we're gonna leave the NFC out of it. AFC, who do you see making the playoff? I mean making the Super Bowl from the AFC side. And we'll talk about
Chiefs
NFC next week.
dethrone the Chiefs, and that's who will make it. And nobody ain't gonna dethrone the Chiefs. I don't see it.
I
I
like
don't see it.
Baltimore. I like
Buffalo, and
Baltimore.
oh, I do like Baltimore. They got a good chance,
I
but
like
like
Baltimore because
yeah,
because of the addition of Derrick Henry. Now
yeah,
you got two people in that backfield that you
yeah,
got to pay attention to.
yep.
I ain't saying that gonna happen because the only thing about the NFL is injury and everything like that. But if anybody gonna dethrone the Kansas City Chiefs,
Baltimore, yep,
it's Baltimore. To me, it's
yeah,
Baltimore.
Well, I have to go
yeah.
with the Houston Texans.
No, sir. No, sir.
I'm
No,
lining up. I'm
no.
lining up. I'm lining up with
No,
Vegas.
not to the
I'm
Super
lining
Bowl.
up. I'm lining
Not to
up
the
with
Super
Vegas.
Bowl.
Vegas got. If you go
No,
on Bovado or any
no,
online right
no,
now, you will
no,
see
demon.
they got them
No,
coming out the AFC.
they are not a
I'm keeping
complete.
it going.
They are a talented. They are a talented team. They're a team with a lot of talent, a lot of pieces on there. Have they proven that they could get to that step? Not over no Baltimore, and damn sure not over Kansas City. I don't give a damn. I bet you $1,000 right now. They not going. You said to the Super Bowl. No, sir.
To the Super Bowl.
No, sir. No, sir.
To the Super Bowl.
Only
And
way they
my
make it
thing,
is injuries. Hey, like Show say, injuries. That's the only way they'll make it.
because the thing about it with Skyrocket with that, like you said, we just doing because we all us NFC guys. The only reason I don't say Houston is the experience. The
Yeah,
experience. But you got two veteran teams, and then you got another quarterback if he healthy, laying in the weight outside of Baltimore and Kansas City. You got Joe Burrow sitting over there,
that's
and Joe
right. You
Burrow
can't
done
forget
made it to the Super
Cincinnati.
Bowl.
Yeah, that's right.
I
It's
That's
picked
it
him
right.
on my
when
fantasy
you
league
get to
tonight.
the playoff. When you get to the playoff, that playoff,
That's right.
if you ain't been deep in that playoff, and Houston, I give them, they made the playoff last year. They caught lightning in the bottle. That's why I say you can always catch lightning in the bottle in the NFL. In pro football, you can catch lightning in the bottle. They caught that lightning in the bottle, but it's
And
pressure.
had
It's
and
pressure.
I know this gonna sound stupid. This gonna sound stupid. Had in Indianapolis, if Indianapolis had a
No,
better quarterback,
If Richardson didn't get hurt,
I think
what I think they would
Houston
have
wouldn't have been
Houston
there.
Houston wouldn't have won that division.
They wouldn't have won that division. That's right.
And I
They
agree
wouldn't
with
have made
Tony
it.
on that. That's
Yeah,
just
they
my
wouldn't have
opinion,
made it.
Scott.
Because
I agree with Tony on that
you gotta remember,
because
Houston lost to Carolina. Shit, come on now.
Richardson Richardson had Indianapolis looking like they was gonna win that division before he got
That's
hurt.
right. That's right.
You don't know what could happen because
That's
hindsight
right.
is 2020. You can go back to the old saying, shit, you coulda, shoulda, woulda. Shit,
Yeah,
but going by that, Richardson had them looking like they were the team to beat in that
that's right.
division.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely.
So
Well,
that's all I'm
Absolutely.
saying.
yeah, yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you see, the time is here, the time is near, the time has came, and it is time for us to leave this wonderful place. It is Our hour is up. We're going to stick to our hour. We're going to go a little bit over because we have to do closing remarks. But we did it. We did it for the first time in a long, long time.
First time,
We
first time,
we
last time.
did we
Don't
did
get
an
too,
hour.
don't get too graphic. Don't get too long winded. So we won't stick close to this hour.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
So closing remarks, starting with the man on vacation. Go ahead.
So let's remember what integrity is. Moral character, moral characters, moral principles, um, completeness, honesty, and let's talk about in the workplace, accountability, taking responsibility. That's what integrity is. And believe me, it's a hard thing to live up to all the time. I characterize as a business owner, rise integrity as do what you're supposed to do when nobody's looking and sometimes go above and beyond. That's what integrity is to me.
All right, show.
I'm gonna piggyback off what Tony said. I characterize integrity, and everybody, if you know me, and if you know me, I ain't always been the best guy in the world. I ain't always been the most honest guy in the world. I have done a lot of stuff that I wish I could take back, but I've also grown, matured, and I've learned a lot. You know, it's a lady in my life now that she always tries to keep me on the straight path. As much as I fight her, and I still do fight her, cause y'all know me. Everybody that know me. I I still fight against her because she looks at me when she know I'm doing something wrong or I've said something wrong and hurt somebody's feelings. Cause I still hurt people feelings. Being 50, I still hurt people feeling, but she tries to keep my integrity straight, and I thank the Lord for her with that. So I am speaking, Tony speaking it from a business side. I am speaking it from a person, individual, everyday person out in the street, just integrity and stuff with people. I fall short a lot of times. I'm not asking for nobody forgiveness, but I am learning still to this day about just integrity and stuff with people. So if it feels wrong before you do it, then it probably is wrong. So don't do it.
All right, and I say thank you for that. Um, and that sermon that was brought to you today from the book of a show, chapters 1 through 3. But
Down, down by the Riverside Baptist Church, across the
I'm ready to
bridge.
get baptized again.
we
But
like to thank everybody for
but
coming in.
show you're right. You're right. You know what? Life teaches you lessons when you don't want to listen to mom and daddy or listen to the older people. Life has a way of teaching you what
Yeah,
integrity is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, as y'all can see, our fourth member didn't make it in. I think he's still licking his wounds
He
from the
no
horse
no
tournament.
he down there at
And
Booty's
he thought
backyard extravaganza.
and he thought he was gonna come back in and win, but he did not do that. I got to keep y'all abreast of what happened yesterday. They lost the first round game and got put in the loser bracket, and the second game they was on the sideline
They
drinking.
never came. So what you said? They never came out the loser bracket.
They never came back. They was two and gone. It was a double elimination. They was two and gone.
Two
But
and gone.
we
Two
like to
and
thank
gone.
everybody for coming in. We like to thank everybody for coming in and watching the show. Today we talked about integrity and what is integrity. We talked about it on the our side, on the personal side, the business side, and the athletic side. Um, so we talked about integrity. I wish First Lady was on here to talk about integrity.
She right here. She right here. She right here
But
coming
we
in
will
here to
talk.
get me about integrity because she got me on a time schedule.
Yeah, yeah. So once again, we'd like to thank everybody for coming in. We'll see y'all next week. Next week topic is what I'm thinking is When did you have that moment that you decide to change?
And a side topic to that:
Or
pig
what
feet,
changed you?
pig feet or
What
chitlins? Which one you like best?
we'd like to thank everybody for chiming in. Carrie, Wayne from the Dewdrop came in. Lonnie
Yeah,
Love came in. Everybody that listen, thank y'all for coming in. Remember, we do this every week. You can come in and join, or you can call in now. You can call in 803-223-3335, and we'll let you call in because not everybody have Facebook, but you can call in, and we are streaming live on YouTube. So
wrapping up
if you
now.
want to come in and talk, whatever we're talking about, whatever the topic is, feel free. We do not judge here. We are
No
open.
judgment. Yeah.
Yeah, we are open podcast, and we do not chastise you for your opinion. But with that being said, and it is an hour and 5 minutes, we got to say peace, two fingers,
Peace.
and see you next week. Bye.
See you next week. Love and soul.